I am currently in a town called Cheshire, and this is a forest. Now, this forest is called Delamere Forest. Now, the reason that I'm here today is because I'm taking my little boy for a walk. That's Harley. Say hello, Harley. Anyway, he thinks he's come out with me today because we're going for a nice walk in the woods. But I've got a hidden agenda because I've been told through research that apparently this forest is haunted. And when I say haunted, I mean haunted. In fact, this is the most haunted forest in the UK. Now we're going to find out if that's true or not, starting right now. So do you believe in ghosts?
No.
Oh, that's not very good, is it?
Oh, I don't.
Have you ever seen a
Oh,
ghost?
do you want me to lie and say, yeah, I do? Because I don't, no.
Right, some people believe in ghosts and then other people obviously don't.
I believe there's something, because there was one time when I felt like there was something there, and then when I looked, there was nothing there, but I had a feeling there was something there.
Can you
That
explain?
makes sense.
Can you explain though? Can you explain what you saw?
It seemed like a dark shadow had just passed. You know, like a person had passed. But when I looked to see if there was somebody there, there was nobody. So that was a weird experience.
We've all experienced things that we can't explain. It's like me. I don't believe in ghosts. But there was one time, this was about 8 years ago, in another house that we used to live in. I used to go outside the back door, because I used to smoke, and I'd be having a cigarette, and it would be about 1 o'clock in the morning, and literally the sky just flashed. I thought, that's weird. I didn't think it was supernatural or ghosts or anything like that. I just thought it's just nature. Couldn't explain it, but it was very bizarre. And I said to you, didn't I? I said, I keep seeing this flashing light in the sky.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, whatever.
And I saw it.
And then she saw it. And what did we see?
I don't know, it was just like a flash.
Like a white light, wasn't it? It just went.
But it wasn't thunder, it wasn't lightning, it wasn't a shooting star, it was just weird.
And it wasn't in the sky, it was sort of maybe, see where that fence is? It was probably from here to that fence, and it was this bright white light.
Right, yeah.
And it just went, there was no sound, it just, it was weird. Put it this way, I didn't sleep that night. It was scary.
You had a nightmare that night, actually. You thought aliens were coming to get you.
And do you know what? Still, to this day, I can't explain it.
No.
I'm not saying it was an alien or anything like that, but I couldn't identify it. And that's what a UFO was. UFO is, isn't it?
Unidentified
flying object. And that was a UFO.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what it was. And I've been thinking about it for a long time. Just can't make sense of it. We're going to go and get an ice cream from this cafe at Delamere Forest. It's very nice, though it's quite expensive, isn't it, Yvonne?
Yeah, especially for the dog ice cream.
Oh, yeah. It's about £3, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. It's either £2.50 or £3.50, I'm not sure.
Don't worry, this isn't a video about how much ice cream is from this cafe over here. This is about the most haunted forest in England. This video is going to get really good because I'm going to go deep into there. I'm going to tell you, excuse me, apparently what happened.
I know.
Very interesting and very scary.
Good boy. Good boy. For ice cream, we all scream.
There we are. Okay, this is the cafe bit. We're going to get a nice refreshing brew and an ice cream for the dog. Does he want to get water?
I'll get him water now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ali.
Okay, we got ourselves some nice brews and one of these, which is
His favourite.
his favourite chocolate ice cream. He loves these. What's this?
It's vanilla.
Is it? Well, I'm not eating. Wait, I'm not eating it. Here we go. Good boy. Oh, he loves them. Look at that. Sit. Harley, sit.
They won't say it.
Did you know that America apparently is the most hauntedest country in the world?
Is it?
Yeah, and then the second most haunted is the United Kingdom. I think they say that because America's a lot bigger, isn't it, than
There's 51
the
states.
UK.
Isn't it 51 states in America?
So the chances of seeing a ghost is more likely.
Yeah.
Do you think dogs can see ghosts, or they can pick up the senses? Because they're always sniffing up, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're aware of something. Holly, Holly, have you ever seen a ghost? Are you trying to tell us something? If you can see the buses behind me, there's a reason why they are there. Because they've all come on an excursion. It's like a trip because it's so well known because of what happened here a couple of years ago. Can you see this? There's two coaches there, and then there's one behind me. This isn't a joke. This is serious. What happened here was reported several times. Now, at first, people were like, all right, okay, whatever. And it was one person that said that they witnessed something here. I'm going to take you to it in a second, and you'll see this thing that
come
they
here.
apparently saw. Do you remember hearing about the story about what happened round here?
I heard somebody say that there was a lady they saw. It was going on around the town.
Yeah. It was crazy because what that person witnessed, it soon got around the whole area.
Stop it.
And there was people around here, and they refused to come back into this forest after what they saw. You got to remember, what happened, it wasn't one person that saw it. It was a lot of people that saw it. So then it has credibility. Even the police were informed about it because they didn't understand what it was. Let's go and find out.
Is it that way we need to go?
Do you want to go down here?
No, because I don't know this way.
Yeah, but this is where it sort of happened.
Oh, I'm not going down here then.
This is
Go
this is
ape.
Go Ape. So what you can do here, you can hire like are they two-wheelers? What are they called?
Segways.
What are they?
A Segway.
Yeah, segways. That
You
dog's mad.
stupid dog.
Harley, pack it in.
Stop it.
Why is he acting weird?
I don't know.
Like, this is another thing. Harley's quite a calm dog, and for some reason he's acting very,
Because there's that many smells.
yeah, acting very bizarre. The missus thinks it smells, but
It
he's
is
not
a
normally like this. Are you all right, mate?
It is. It's because of all the different smells. A dog. There's not many dogs here. He's like, it's the scent.
Maybe that's what it is, or maybe it's something else. Ooh.
Maybe.
What do you think? Are you getting a vibe?
Remember that time when we came and it was like getting dark and oh
He's proper on one today, isn't he?
yeah, it was getting really dark and we saw that owl staring at us.
Yeah,
in the
that
middle.
was.
That was freaky.
Yeah, that was weird.
You are doing my head in.
Have you seen these? Would you go up there, Yvonne?
Yeah,
Would you?
yeah.
No chance.
Oi,
At the side of me, there's
Come here.
a lake.
Come
Can you
here.
see it?
come here.
I'm going to tell
Ollie.
you the story of what happened. Okay, so I think it was in 2006. I'll get the article up in a few minutes. There was this fella, and what happened?
Ollie.
He disappeared, and he was from a local town. He was happily married, no issues, had a really good job. In fact, he had his own business, and the business was doing well. No signs. And then one day,
Oi,
his wife woke up and he wasn't there.
oi,
And I don't want to say the names
Oi.
because it's not really
oi.
fair, is it?
Get here.
But
Get here.
he sort of vanished.
Come here. Come
It was
here.
10 days later
Come here.
that his body was found, and it was found
Get.
in that lake. Now, the strange thing is about this story, 2 nights before this fella was found in the lake behind me, see this? This is a main road. Now, Delamere Forest is in the middle of nowhere, and This is the main road coming through. I'll show it you and I'll explain.
What's this?
This road is very quiet. You do get the occasional car coming through. Like this one here, can you see it's just coming past? Maybe you'll get 1 or 2 cars coming through. And they come through this road. Now, this is the daytime, so it's quite
What's this?
early. So you would imagine it'd be fairly busy. But at 1 o'clock in the morning, it's not going to be busy. In fact, it's going to be dead. Now on the road passing, there was a guy coming back from work off a night shift. And as he was driving down, he crashed his car. He was going down the straight road. You just saw how straight it was. He was driving. Suddenly, he crashed it. The police arrived on the scene. Obviously, they breathalyzed him to make sure that he wasn't intoxicated, because they couldn't understand what's he actually crashed into, because it's just a straight road. As the police officers were questioning him, he was acting really strange. And they thought, is he drunk? So again, they breathalyzed him, but there was no signs of alcohol in his system. And he looked pale, didn't he? Do you remember?
Yeah.
He looked like he saw a ghost. But they're thinking, this is weird. They thought that this guy is on something. He's on drugs or something. So they took him back to the police station for further questioning. When he got to the station and they started asking him questions, they started to very quickly realise that this guy must be suffering from some sort of mental health, like an episode. They're thinking maybe he's had some sort of nervous breakdown. They didn't understand, and they weren't qualified enough to know what steps to take. So what they did, they spoke to their sergeant and they got someone to come and see him, someone who was medically trained. This fella had to speak to this doctor, like a psychologist or psychiatrist.
Come here.
And the psychiatrist determined that the person was fine, though they had experienced recent trauma. And if you don't know what trauma is, in a nutshell, it basically means they were trying to say that that fella had just experienced something that was so traumatic that they've lost part of their memory for a short period of time. Because of this newfound trauma that they've discovered that this guy is experiencing, unfortunately, the police powers had changed because they couldn't interview him because he wasn't fit enough to be interviewed. This guy was not engaging. He wasn't speaking. He didn't say a word. He literally just sat there with his eyes wide open, and they're thinking, what is going on? They didn't know what to do. They weren't getting any response from this guy. They knew he wasn't drunk. They knew he hadn't been drinking. The police kind of felt powerless now because they don't know what to do. They're holding this guy. They don't know what to do with him. But fortunately, he had his driving license in the car with him. And from his personal details, they were able to contact his family. They actually spoke to his wife, didn't they?
Yeah.
So after they spoke to his wife and they explained to her, we've literally come across an incident. Your husband's been involved in an accident, because it wasn't a collision, because he didn't hit anything. They were asking her if she got any a history of mental health. And do you know what she said?
No.
She said no. This guy was very academic. He was very intelligent. He was a driven, popular, charismatic, intelligent, young, healthy man. There was no signs that would indicate why he would suddenly crash into thin air. It didn't make any sense. Right, so now they've established he's had some sort of breakdown and they don't know what's triggered it. There's no evidence to say that he was under any sort of stress at work or his family life or anything like that. They had nothing to go by. There was no trigger. So what they had to do is keep him in. Did they send him to the hospital? Wasn't it the hospital they sent him?
Yeah, to see if there was any stress on him.
So what the hospital did, they said, right, they put it down to shock, and they established that there was something wasn't right. He has seen something, or something's happened. But they said just give him a few days and then speak to him again. Because again, there was no alcohol in his system, so they couldn't really charge him with anything. They were just trying to find out what had happened. A few days later, him and his wife went into the police station and gave their report. But this time he was ready to speak, because now he remembered what it was that he saw. This guy said, and I quote, "I was driving along the road from work when I suddenly saw somebody standing in the centre of the road, and they looked like they had drowned." And when he saw this figure, this person, he panicked and he turned his car to the left to try and avoid what he was about to hit. The guy then took a few deep breaths, obviously because he was in shock. Can you imagine it? He composed himself, even though he was in shock, he composed himself enough to think, right, okay, and he just carried on driving. And that's when he looked to his passenger side where no one was sitting. And that's where he saw the waterman. Right, so the coppers are thinking, or the police, they're thinking this guy's making some sort of stupid story. But what happened when they checked the mechanics of the car to make sure the brakes didn't fail or whatever, what they noticed that the left-hand side of the car was soaking wet. Soaking. And it was water. And it wasn't water like from a fresh bottle. It was water from this lake. Yeah, them flowers there, they're just placed there. That was, I imagine that was just put there by a member of the family of the gentleman who went missing, and I'm assuming that's where he was found. It is very sad. I'm not saying these two stories are linked, but yeah. It's not nice, is it?
Oh.
Oh God, nearly fell over then.
Can we not get out of here?
Sorry?
Can we not get out of here?
No. I think we're
then.
coming a bit too deep here.
Come on.
That isn't the end of the story, because with this guy, because of what he said happened, they thought, right, okay. So they had to sign him off work. Do you remember?
He was traumatised.
He was traumatised. This was a very intelligent man. He couldn't go into work. They had to sign him off sick. And his friends went to see him. He was like, yeah, all right. And he's like, no, because he was convinced he saw what he saw.
But nobody believed him.
Nobody believed him. So eventually did let him get back to work. But till this day, he's convinced. He said, no, that's what happened. What do you do with that one? He's either lying, which he's got absolutely no reason to, or maybe
It did happen.
it did actually happen. Are we lost?
You said it was this way.
I don't know where I'm going. The Delamere Forest is a big place. It's quite easy to get lost. Just watch the dog, because he jumps, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Stay there, mate.
Sit down. Sit down. Be
Stay
a good
there.
boy. Wait.
Good boy. Wait.
It's
Wait.
a good boy. A good,
Good
boy.
boy.
Yeah. It's good.
He's just
Okay.
anxious, that's all it is. He gets anxious when he sees other
Good boy.
dogs.
Come on.
Come on.
Good
He's
boy.
all right now.
It's okay. There.
This the witch?
Is it up there?
Up there?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Okay,
We can go that way though.
no, let's just go that way. I don't think you can. Okay, there was other things that happened, right? I don't really want to talk about it while I'm here because it's sort of giving me the creeps, right? Okay, I'm going to leave it there because it just feels a bit strange around here. One thing I will say, it may be just a load of hocus pocus, but if it's not, and if it is true, then the only thing I can say to you, be very careful because you might one day actually see the waterman.